Hi all, this video is going to cover 1.2 of the AP Government curriculum, Types of Democracy. So, a representative democracy is where people elect representatives and entrust them with the job of representing the people and their concerns in policymaking. There are three types of democracies: participatory, pluralist, and elite. A participatory democracy is a direct democracy in which citizens directly vote for laws, no representatives. However, this would be impractical as it would be hard for everyone to vote on everything as more complex laws starts to come through and the population grows larger. The framers believed that the United States was too big to be a participatory democracy. However, there are still many ways for citizens to participate in politics, such as voting at town hall meetings to change local policy, casting city-wide or school district-wide votes to determine things such as property tax rates or whether or not to construct new buildings. Voters can also vote to change state laws. There are also initiatives where people can vote to put something on a ballot for a popular vote, and a referendum, which basically holds the legislature accountable. If an unpopular law passes, citizens can sign a petition to put the law on a ballot and decide if the law should be defeated or upheld. A pluralist democracy is when people gather together based on interest into interest groups that are non-governmental, but have varying degrees of influence on policymaking. They often try to persuade lawmakers to enact laws that would benefit the ideals of these groups. However, there are so many interest groups with different ideas that are often opposing that compete in a marketplace of ideas that policy change is very slow and forces a lot of compromise. However, this prevents the elite from grabbing all the power. The framers considered each state to have their own interests. In the government, especially Congress, there are many competing representatives from different states with different ideals will try to make laws that benefit their constituents. However, there are so many members from Congress from all states in America that no one interest can dominate. An elite democracy is where the elite, or people with most resources, dominate. These are usually elected representatives that make decisions on behalf of the people, but this is not the same as a monarchy or a king. Sometimes people argue that this is best as the average voter may be uninformed and enact unwise laws. Examples of an elite democracy in the United States Constitution and government today include the Electoral College, which comprises of a small group of electors that vote on the president, Supreme Court justices, which are appointed by the president and confirmed by the Senate, but not voted on by the people directly. Also, party leaders, well-known people, those who have more resources and connections, are generally the ones who gather more support and win elections. So, when the Constitution was written, it needed approval from 9 of the 13 states for ratification. This split the country into two: those who did not want to ratify the Constitution, and those who did. The Constitution was a lot different from the Articles of Confederation, and included a strong central government. Fear of having a government like the one of Great Britain, and that people's rights won't be protected were main reasons why anti-federalists, those who did not want ratification of the Constitution as it was written, did not support it. They wanted a Bill of Rights to protect people's basic rights, and supported their arguments with 16 different essays under the name Brutus. Meanwhile, the Federalists wrote 85 essays explaining the structure of government under the Constitution and why it was perfectly good enough to protect people's rights. These essays became known as the Federalist Papers. Among them were Federalist No. 10 and Brutus No. 1, which are required foundational documents. These two, along with Federalists and anti-federalists, will be explained in greater detail in 1.3. So, Federalist No. 10 addressed the problems with a pluralist democracy and the dangers of competing interest groups, or factions. The Federalists argued that the only way to control factions was to control its effects, and that a strong central government can do so. This can prevent the majority from taking over and stopping minority views from being heard. On the other hand, anti-federalists feared that the United States was too large to have one central government adequately represent the people's views. They favored smaller units of government, or for state governments to have more power. In Brutus No. 1, the anti-federalists argue that a large government couldn't represent all views of the people fairly, and that the Constitution limited the power of smaller units of government that could be more responsive to the citizens directly while giving the federal government, what to him was unlimited power. Finally, the Federalists wanted a representative government and believed that elections could prevent those that were unqualified or abusive of their power from gaining office. Anti-federalists did not support the idea of a strong central government. That's all for AP US Government and Politics Topic 1.2 Types of Democracy. Please like and subscribe.